This road is mad. It's actually getting smaller. It's getting a lot smaller. Driving around the world in a 19-year-old camper van may seem a little mad, but that's exactly what we're doing. And here we are, 4 years after leaving the UK, exploring Malaysia, in the middle of its annual monsoon. So the last thing we needed was to have a leaking roof. So we dropped Trudy off to get her fixed, before we start the drive north towards Thailand and beyond. Life is either a daring adventure or nothing at all. Helen Keller. Good morning. This morning we are back at the RV shop and I just want to show you the work they've done. Look at this. So they've redone this roof for us. They've rebuilt all of the inside here and made it look all lovely. They've repaired the crack in the roof here a little bit. They've reattached the arm. That looks great. They've also put a box behind here to protect the electrics because if you remember we had damage to the electrics and we actually had a fire in the van from a short. We just had a fire in the van.
There was flames.
Here we go. How's it going?
Hey, it's okay.
Good job.
So we're just having it explained why we have leaks, and it turns out that the installers weren't that great.
Yeah.
So Shams installed this white cover to stop it going before that wasn't there. And also the brown cover over there below that window, it didn't actually have that protective thing there.
So before we leave, we're just topping up the water. These guys did a great job on the van. Thank you very much, my friend. Bagus. It looks amazing.
He said he did his best job, and I said his best is
Your best is good enough.
Thank you.
Right, the adventure continues.
The adventure continues. Oh, that's a great job done.
We're back at the Polo Club. Ta-da. And one thing we want to do, we've still got another day here in KL chilling. In fact, we're going out tonight to a special location. But we're going to get Natasha to stick the Malaysian flag on the van.
So there we go. No pressure. No, you know.
It doesn't matter if it's
no
not straight.
Pressure. Chris always gets bubbles, so it's going to be fine.
Yeah!
I've got bubbles in it.
Shh, we won't tell anyone. Oh, that's so lovely, Natasha. Not only is she put our sticker on, but she's had one printed for us.
Check this out, look. She's got a special Tread the Globe with the Petronas Towers, and I love the Tread the Globe La. Which is a real saying over here. Oh, so it's a cut-out sticker, and I think the front's going to peel off, so. That is amazing. Look at that. I love it. That's so clever, the way it's just left the actual printed part.
That's amazing.
Thank you very much, guys. Okay, so because it's one of our last nights here in KL, tonight we wanted to take Natasha and Peter to a bar that we think is probably the best bar in KL, or at least has the best view.
And is probably the best kept secret too.
Exactly. Shh, don't tell anybody. Although looking at the weather, it's looking a bit cloudy. And it's an outside bar. Oh, somebody's all dressed up smart. All aboard. We've just arrived, it's thunder, but we're gonna go up, grab a drink before it starts raining. Okay, up we go, level 34. We were recommended this bar last time we were in KL, and not so many people know it's here. Even Natasha and Peter hadn't heard of it, and they live here, so we were excited to share it with them. Okay, so then you got this dark corridor, it's 100 ringgit each to go up, but it's worth it. Let me show you. These guys are like, where are you taking me? As the name suggests, the Helibar is actually located on a helipad on the 36th floor of an office block in the heart of downtown KL. By day, the area is actually still used to land helicopters, and at night it's transformed into what has to be one of the best viewed bars in KL, with its 360-degree view over the city. It was the perfect way to thank Natasha and Peter for their kindness, and I think even they were impressed by the views. But being an outside bar, Your experience is dependent on the weather, and as we sat enjoying our drinks, the grey clouds started to roll in. The staff quickly covered everything up, but it wasn't the end of our fun, as we headed inside to their lounge bar. The rain started to finish off our drinks. We're just waiting for a taxi, and we're going to go to Jalan Alor, which is one of the main food streets here in KL. Good plan? So we've now come down to Jalan Alor, and it's a crazy place. If you come to KL, you have to come here. The raining's nearly stopped, but there's food everywhere.
Lots of food and lots of smell.
Look at this. It's just such a cool place. Durian! This is one of my favorite places in KL. We've got loads of seafood sticks. Normally you can't move down here, but because it's raining, it's a lot quieter than normal. All these different foods and smells are absolutely amazing. And you get hassled everywhere to go in. Oh no, sudah makan, terima kasih. Oh, thank you very much. Sudah makan means that I've already eaten. It's a good thing to say to them. We got crabs. Hi. Hi. Okay, so then this is our favorite place on Jalan Alor, WAW restaurant. This was a recommendation for Peter and Natasha, and the food here is absolutely amazing. We've been a few times since we've been in Malaysia. If you're looking for this restaurant, it's actually at the bottom of Jalan Alor. Just keep walking down the hill. I just love the noise, the atmosphere. It's just a really, really, really cool place to sit and have dinner. Cheers! Hold on, Marianne, why is my glass like that and your glass like that?
Just saying.
Something definitely gone wrong there. We got some greens, we got Marmite chicken. Yes, believe it or not, they have a dish with Marmite chicken. It's amazing. Even if you don't like Marmite, it's amazing. Chicken satay, we got some clams, we got some noodles, and there's lots more coming. Good choice, guys. Good morning. It's our last morning in Kuala Lumpur. How much are we gonna miss that view? But today, we start the long journey north, up towards the north of Malaysia and beyond. But first we have to go and pick Trudy up, which is parked at the Polo Club over there.
The good news is there's absolutely no water on the table or on the bed.
Yeah,
which
it
means
worked.
The repairs worked. Yay, thank you guys.
So before we hit the road this morning, we're going to get the map on the side of the van, just show you the plan, the rest of the plan for Malaysia. So we're here in Kuala Lumpur, and then today we're heading up. We're going to head up to the Cameron Highlands here, spend a night there, and then the next day we're going to go across to Ipoh, and then head across to the coastline to Taiping, Kuala Sepetang, and then we'll be heading up into Thailand. Morning, Natasha.
I like the sticker, Big Boss, Natasha.
For Pony Club Camp.
The time has come to say goodbye
Yeah, we're off.
to Natasha and Peter.
We'll see you next year.
We'll see you next year for sure, for sure.
She's crying.
No crying. You can't cry.
Set me off.
All right. You ready to go north?
I am indeed.
Let's hit the road. Bye. It's so sad leaving those guys. KL's been like our base here in Malaysia with these guys. They've really looked after us. Thanks again to everybody at the Polo Club for letting us park Trudy here. And we will be back one day.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so the drive up to the Cameron Highlands is about 3.5 hours. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the Malaysian scenery. Got a beautiful sunny day here, no rain in sight today, so it should be a lovely drive. So our time in KL was just as amazing as I remember it. It's such a cool capital city, one of the friendliest in the world, and yeah, it's just one of our favourite city stops. So if you do come to Malaysia, make sure you spend a few days hanging out in KL and eat some food and enjoy it. It was sad leaving KL. It really feels like home, one of our happy places. But if you don't have the sadness of saying goodbye and leaving, you don't get the excitement of going back. Heading north, we're excited to see what other adventures we would experience on our long drive back to the UK. The architecture here is really pretty amazing. A lot of these high-rises have these like linkways between the blocks, which I was actually thinking would be really cool if there's a fire. You could actually go up and get into the next block rather than go down. I'm not sure whether that's why they built it, but it's a good design.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
It does. Gotta make sure we get in the right lane. What is that noise? Is that a bird? That's a really weird noise. That noise. What is that? It's the weirdest noise ever.
Maybe it is a bird.
We've got to stick to the queue on the left so we can get through the toll booth. All the rest of them have got height barriers. So we're joining the trucks. It's a bit like the wacky races.
Keep right.
So over here we're using the Waze app, and the guy's accent is really quite funny. Keep right. So where we're heading, the Cameron Highlands, is actually up in the Highlands, so it should be cooler. It's the main tea growing region of Malaysia. So we're hoping we should be able to get a nice cup of tea and see some very cool tea plantations as we head north. Rumour has it they might even do a British afternoon tea.
I'm up for that one.
Bit of cake, Marianne?
Oh, you can never beat a nice scone.
Scone.
Oh,
Can you imagine getting scones in Malaysia?
In fact, do you call it a scone or a scone?
You can see the mountains coming into sight in the distance, and they are high. It's funny because I never really, like all the times I've been to Malaysia,
Yeah.
we've never been up into the mountains, so I'd never really imagined that they had, you know, tall, really tall mountains. But yeah, that's looking pretty hilly up there. I love how the motorbikes weave in and out and then just like undercut on the hard shoulder. Couldn't do that back home. Army truck, ambulance. Marianne just undercut an ambulance.
You have to drive like the locals and respect their rules.
Exactly.
And there are none.
And there are none, and everybody's undercutting the ambulance because it's road hogging.
Yeah.
Okay, we're coming off the highway. Now starts the long winding road up into the hills. Bit of a bumpy road. You can hear the call to prayer going on. Tasha and Peter were saying that they've actually built a new highway to the Cameron Highlands that runs from Ipoh east into the Cameron Highlands, but we've decided because we're coming up from the south, we'll take the old road. It's going to be a bit more windy but probably more interesting, and then tomorrow when we go to Ipoh, we'll take the newer road out as we continue north.
We're in the jungle!
We are definitely in the jungle, but I actually prefer these small little windy roads. So much more character. It's lovely going past all the traditional old houses. It's amazing, winding through. Got some little shops and it's just such a cool place. The views are really starting to open up as we climb. I've got a feeling it's going to be pretty spectacular when we get to the top.
I always say how much I love the seaside, but actually I love mountains equally.
Oh wow, look at this place. Got loads of crafts and stuff, and there's this massive waterfall on the left as we're driving through. That looks very cool. Wow. I don't think you're going to get any parking for Trudy here, but nice.
Oh, I love these roads. I really love these roads.
Oh, I smell durian, really strong smell of durian. I love the smell of durian. I think it smells great. We just had a loud donk on the roof of the van. I think there was an overhanging tree that we just hit.
It's like vines hanging down.
So yeah, you've got to have your wits about you because cars do come around the corner over the white line. And there are actually big coaches that take tours up here as well. So yeah, it's not a road that you can do fast, that's for sure. Just driving through Ringlet, suddenly we've got a big town. Look, there's an amazing temple. Yeah, this is a big, interesting town. Look, mountain town here in Malaysia.
A lot of 4x4s and a lot of motorbikes.
We're nearly there, and we're just getting our first glimpses of tea through the bushes on the side of the hills there. The whole hill's covered in tea plantations, and it's not far from the town where we're staying tonight. And it's cooler, it's definitely cooler. Very grand looking hotels up there.
Is that where we're staying?
That's not where we're staying. 80 meters, turn left here. And then just round the corner. So we did actually book a guest house. So we're gonna see if we can check into the guest house, make sure it's got parking for Trudy. Should be here somewhere. Oh, there's a temple. There. Oh, they got loads of parking. Good call, Marianne.
That's why I chose that.
That's great. So this is where we're staying tonight, Father's guest house. It's about another hour's drive to the tea plantation, so I think what we'll do is we'll get up and go there early in the morning. So we'll park up here and see if we can go and find some nice lunch. Nice, just what we need. Perfect. We've got a view of a temple right there. Look out the window.
It's a comfy bed.
That will do.
It's
It's bouncy.
bouncy bed.
Loo and shower. Yeah, perfect.
Can't believe the windows are open and it's cool.
It's definitely much cooler up here.
So much cooler.
The ladies on reception said that it is actually peak season, school holidays, and it's just that time of year. So expect it to be busy as we drive around. Okay, so we're just heading out for some late lunch. And if you're wondering why we're walking around in bare feet, it's because there's no shoes allowed in the hotel. And I love that, that's so cool. And the ladies on reception said, make sure you bring your shoes in at night or put them away because at night the dogs take them, which is absolutely hilarious.
Well, they never take both, they always take one.
Of course they do. The hotel doesn't do breakfast, but they did say there's like a little communal area. I love this, look. It's like a container, which is like a kitchen with one table, and they've got a kettle with coffee and mugs.
Oh, and then they've got something here that says, eat me, I'm free.
What is it?
Some snacks, chocolate snacks.
The girls on reception kindly recommended a couple of places to go and eat. So the first place we're going to go to is a strawberry farm. Yes, believe it or not, they do actually have strawberries here. So we're going to go to a strawberry farm and grab a nasi lemak, which is a famous local Malay dish. And then we're going to go on to another place where apparently you get biryani cooked in bamboo, which is a new experience for me. So I thought we should try both. So if you're in any doubt that the Cameron Highlands is a tourist trap, people come here to escape the heat and look at the tea. Look how many coaches there are here.
Wow.
These are all apartments and hotels. There's a dormitory. It's such a different feel,
I feel like I'm
isn't
in a
it, compared to Malaysia?
Yeah, I just feel like I'm like in a Swiss mountain.
There's pine trees. It's like, it doesn't feel like Malaysia now.
It's like snow shadows.
There's a sign advertising nasi lemak. So that's where we're going. So we've come into this restaurant where they serve nasi lemak, but they have a strawberry sambal. So it's going to be interesting to taste that. It's a very cool restaurant. All of the roof is covered with this lovely plant growing over it. And all down here you can see all the strawberry plants growing. Cameron Highlands has got the perfect climate to grow strawberries and tea, which is nice. And it's so cool. It's surprisingly cool. It's like the perfect temperature. This makes me feel like I'm back home. All these strawberries growing. Hundreds of them. I used to grow strawberries back home, and back where my mum and dad live in Somerset, it's like famous for strawberries. So yeah, it's nice to see them growing here in Malaysia as well. Oh, wow, look at that.
Terima kasih, thank you.
Terima kasih. So here you go. This is nasi lemak. Not sure why the rice is bright green. Oh, but it tastes lovely. And we got two types of sambals here. This one looks a little bit like, let's see, I think this may be the strawberry one. Oh, it's really good. It's sweet and hot, but it's not too sweet. And then they got a normal one. Oh, it's really good. Be careful, Marianne, it's a little bit spicy. That one will kill you.
Don't want to die. What about that one?
That one, try it, that's the strawberry one.
Will that kill me?
It's spicy, but it's not crazy spicy.
Oh, that is good.
It's really,
Oh, that is hot.
it's good. And then it comes with an egg. Marianne's got the traditional peanuts with her chicken one. This one is a lamb one, but really nice. And we got like these drinks that blend into the table. We got a hot and a cold strawberry drink,
Yeah.
which is delicious, very sweet. Like a syrupy, like a strawberry syrup, but it's good. So when you eat the nuts, these little things here are like little salty fish, little ikan bilis, which just adds a little saltiness to the nuts. So good, so good. Sitting under this plant reminds me of when we were in Turkey. Do you remember?
I do.
Ben and Cheska at the kiwi farm.
Yeah. We went to a lovely kiwi farm just north of Gazi Pasha.
So yeah, Ben and Cheska, if you're watching, this reminds me of that. Well, it's an afternoon of eating, so we're now heading to try and find a bamboo biryani.
We might have to share that one.
I think we might. We want to try the bamboo biryani. Terima kasih. Wow. This is where the magic happens, huh? Wow, it's a seriously big pot. Oh, they're all steaming inside. Look at that.
Is that the best one?
Oh wow, that looks amazing. Bagus, terima kasih.
Now this is probably one of my favourite dishes. In England, I always have a biryani and it's always mild. It's probably going to be a little bit hotter, but hey ho. The mutton is just falling apart. That is delicious.
A great looking plate with coleslaw, a bowl of curry, flavoursome rice. It was absolutely delicious.
My mouth is on fire, but it's beautiful.
Really, really flavourful. Nice spicy curry, lots of aromatics from the thing. Good job, something different. Delicious. And for one biryani which we shared, 2 iced coffees, it was £6.28. Amazing. Good morning. Well, we had a fantastic night's sleep at this hotel, and I can't believe how cool it is this morning. I've actually got the long trousers on. That's the first in Malaysia. But we've used their kitchen, we've made a coffee, and we're gonna hit the road and go and find some tea. Right. You ready to go find some tea?
I am definitely ready for tea and scones.
Scones for breakfast, there's a thing. It's the perfect time to leave this morning because the sun is out, it's bright and early in the morning, and the tour groups haven't arrived yet. Peter and Natasha told us that this region gets super busy, particularly at weekends. So that's why we've chosen to come a weekday, and that's why we're headed to this tea plantation early. And plus, when it's quieter, it's always nicer, isn't it? There's lots of tourists that come here to do hiking up in the hills because it's one of the best places to hike due to the temperature. You can see all the Land Rovers ready to take the tours up on the little trips to the tea plantations. And that's because some of the roads are pretty small up in the mountains, as you would expect. So we're hoping that going to this tea plantation, we were warned that the road's a bit small and maybe take a tour, but we're going to do it in Trudy. We did the tea plantation in Turkey, if you remember, and that turned out all right, just. Good job.
Yeah, nerves of steel. Honestly, that was one of the freakiest drives we've ever done, but it was one of the funnest drives and one that we'll remember forever.
Loads of big resorts and posh looking hotels, and they're still building lots. There's lots of construction going on as well. There's a golf course.
There is a golf course, and there's also a picture of a giant strawberry.
No aircon, long trousers, and the windows open. Take note that this is a rare sight in Malaysia. Although I said about blue skies, it's looking immensely cloudy up in the distance, but up in the mountains it can change very quickly. feels like weather from back home now.
It really does. It's really glowy. You can tell from the flags. Woof.
We've got the mist just touching the tops of the hills there. Okay, the road's got smaller. We've just turned off. We got a few miles down a much smaller road that's going up into the tea plantation. You never really know how small these kinds of roads will get. And often once you start, there's no space to turn round. So fingers crossed we don't meet a bus coming the other way.
Very big drop-offs.
Oh, there's a dog.
Small puppy.
It's a beautiful drive. It literally feels like we're going through plantations, doesn't it?
Banana trees. Look at the banana
Oh,
trees.
it's fantastic. Look at that view. Flipping heck.
Wow. I can't look too much.
It should be a spectacular view at the top. You can see all the tea now. We're driving through the tea plantations. What a fantastic view. Oh, I'm loving this. So we're heading up to the Bow Tea Plantation. And if you come to the Cameron Highlands, you should definitely head up this way. Absolutely stunning views this morning.
Wild. Look at it.
Wow. This road is mad. It's actually getting smaller. It's getting a lot smaller. Wow.
Some of the roads seem fine, but
It's a little bit potholy, but the views over the tea plantations have been amazing. And I'm expecting a very good view. Drive carefully on our narrow road.
that's my plan.
It's not. It's a bit
not narrow,
dodgy.
it's just
It's a bit
potholy.
bumpy.
I've got flashbacks to Georgia actually.
Well, at least we've got it before the tours. I'm not sure where the coach is. I don't think coaches will come up.
I don't know.
Mini coaches.
Mini buses.
Mini buses.
Look at the tea, that's wild.
That's beautiful.
Probably parking here.
Yeah. Jimmy Cassie.
Just down here.
As we park here and walk down.
Walk down.
It's busy already. It's only been open 10 minutes. Well, after driving up that narrow road, there's a coach that's gone to the top of the hill, which will be interesting because that means we might actually hit coaches on the way down. That will be interesting.
For who?
So it is actually drizzling, but look at this tea. What a fantastic view. We had to get the brollies out. The rain is coming. We're going to walk up to the top of the hill, and there's a covered area, so we should be able to see the tea. Hopefully grab a cup of tea. And rumour has it that we might even be able to get a strawberry scone. A taste of home. I'm loving these flowers. Look at that tree. What are they called?
Aren't they the poisonous trumpet flowers?
I don't
We
know.
saw yellow ones in Turkey that look just like that.
There you go, guys. If you know what that is, put a comment below. And we're going up the hill. So if you haven't watched any of our earlier videos on the tea plantations in Japan and Turkey, this is what tea looks like when it's growing. Look at that. That's where you get your brew from back home. All beautifully manicured.
This one's got banana trees dotted them before.
Yeah. This one's in the jungles of Malaysia.
Love it.
Spanning over 465 hectares, the Bow Tea Garden is the largest and oldest of the Bow Tea Gardens. Its tea factory was built in the 1930s, and it's the perfect place for that Cameron Highlands tea experience. There you go. You can just see Trudy parked up down there in the car park, surrounded by tea. Can you imagine the amount of work it took and takes to maintain this tea plantation? So we've made it up to the main entrance here. It's very busy. I think maybe the tour buses drive up here, especially when it's only just opened. There's a few more tea places to put on the list. Malaysia, Turkey, we've done. Indonesia, Indri, if you're watching, we're coming. Kenya, Bangladesh, Argentina, Japan, we've done. Vietnam, Sri Lanka, India and China. That's another excuse to travel. So we've just joined the queue, possibly the longest queue to a tea shop you've ever seen. And we just spotted a menu, so we've got to tick what we want before we get there. Speeds up the service. It's funny what you miss when you're traveling for long periods. And we were excited at the prospect of having a little familiar taste from back home. So when an Englishman's been traveling for 4 years, seeing that there's a scone cream and a cup of English tea is something that you have to take advantage of. I'm not sure it's going to live up to a Cornish scone with clotted cream and jam, but hey ho, it looks pretty good.
It looks very good. And with that view.
Views over the tea plantation. What more do you want to start the day? So I've made mine like a sandwich. It's got to be strawberry jam first, but the cream is like the... Oh, it's nice actually. It's not clotted cream.
So like chantilly cream.
Yeah, it's nice though. Controversial. Marianne's putting the cream on first.
And I'm also not making a sandwich. I'm going to make mine last forever.
Going in for a bite. Oh, it's good. It's good. And for the tea, I went for a local Bow English breakfast tea. Cheers.
Cheers.
Just look at how wide that tree is. I think that's the widest tree I've ever seen. It's mad. At the side of the restaurant, they got this amazing looking balcony. Perfect for that view. Look at that. What do you reckon?
I just love it. I love it, and I love that Trudy's just there.
Trudy, you can see Trudy. Oh, the car park's filled up now.
Yeah.
Okay, we definitely came at the right time because there's people walking up the steps all the way in the distance. Right, you ready to go to Ipoh?
I'm ready. I'm loving it.
Make sure you subscribe and join us next time, because things didn't quite go as we planned. We got stopped by the police. How exciting.
Yes, we did. I should probably get our paperwork.